Anne Finlay and Annie Moon, thank you for showing us these beautiful dogs. Now, the strange thing, let me talk to you first, Anne, is that this dog, which is absolutely charming, but it's never been popular. Why is that?
Well, of course, during the war, they nearly died out. We were down to 6, and you can't go from 6 to a great number in a very short space of time, not to keep the quality of the dog.
Are you telling me that in the 1940s...
It went down to 6.
The Sussex Spaniel was down to 6
that's right,
animals?
Isn't it?
Yes, that's absolutely right.
That's extraordinary. It's amazing it survived. Now how many today, do you think?
Can't be more than a couple of 300, I suppose.
An absolute maximum of 500.
So it's a rare breed, really.
It is, oh yes.
Annie, what about the history of the breed? A mile away from here, what happened?
Yes, that's right. The absolute origins of the breed will probably never be fully known, but the name that everybody comes to mind with Sussex Spaniels is the name Mr. Fuller from Brightling Park, which is just a mile up the road. Brightling in those days was known as Rose Hill, and many of the Rose Hill Sussex Spaniels are on the back of every Sussex Spaniel alive today, I would think. They're certainly on the back of the pedigree of these two here.
Yeah. Now, they're being very well behaved. Their temperament is rather special, isn't it, Dan?
Yes, it is, but you've got to be very firm with them because they can easily get the upper hand. They're the blue-eyed blonde choir boys of the Spaniel family, I think.
But you mean they like to run the show if they get a chance?
Oh yes, very definitely.
So why do you think they haven't grown in popularity? I know you said there were very few of them, but I mean they are such a beautiful colour, lovely temperament. Do you think they would have been much more popular than they've become?
Well, with only 6 left at the end of the war, it's been very difficult with breeding problems and getting the breed going again to get a good number about.
Well, what sort of breeding problems?
Well, some of them weren't very fertile, and then with only 6 you haven't got a very good gene pool, have you?
Have you put other breeds into it to improve it or not?
Yes, in 1963, with the blessing of the Kennel Club, a clumber was introduced to, a clumber dog was introduced to a Sussex bitch, and progeny from that crossing are still going today. A clumber, being white, doesn't throw its colour, so we managed to retain this beautiful golden liver colour.
Yes. This one is a champion, I believe.
Yes, he is. He's had 2 best of breeds at Crowse. He'll be 9 on the 1st of September, so he's quite an old man now.
What about the eyes? Do they have to have a special colour of eyes?
Sort of hazel, as you can see. They're quite nice colour.
And the coat is called golden
Liver.
liver.
Yes.
What, it's a very special colour, isn't it?
Well, it is definite for Sussex, isn't it?
It is, yes. A lot of people say it's because of the iron ore which is found in the ground hereabouts. And of course the colouring of the Sussex cattle is similar. It helps to bring out the golden highlights that these have on the end of their coat.
I wonder if it's interesting. And what about your dog there?
She's a bitch in actual fact. She's 16 months old. I did breed this one. She's from my very first litter of Sussex Spaniels. I'm absolutely thrilled with her. She's a charming temperament. She's doing quite nicely in the show ring. She makes her debut at Crufts this next time around.
Really?
And if she does well, that'll just be the icing on the cake.
Now, on the front there is a tuft of white hair, and that is permissive.
It is
permitted.
permissible.
Yeah.
I would be happier if it wasn't there, but it is, and I thought that the rest of her conformation outweighed the fact that she had a little bit of white on her. A lot of them do, and it often disappears with age as the coat grows.
A lot of people looking at these lovely dogs are going to say, oh, we'd like to have one of those. Now, what about their suitability? Because they're working dogs, really. I know we use them for show, but they are working dogs. They're developed as working dogs. And in my opinion, if it's a working dog, it needs to work. And you can't just leave it sitting around in a flat all day, can you? What do you think about this dog as a house dog?
Well, they make quite a good house dog, but you've got to be prepared, if you've got one in the house, to walk a couple of miles a day with it, twice a day.
4 miles a day, you reckon?
Well, certainly getting on that way.
Yes. Well, keep you fit, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, it does help. But no, I mean, they do need the exercise. Being in the flat all day, they'd be bored out of their minds.
What about the future of this breed, Annie? Do you think it's going to get more popular? And do you want it to become more popular?
I don't know if I really do want it to become a lot more popular. I certainly want it to be safe as far as numbers go. There is good and bad with becoming popular. No, not many people knew what a clumber was before 2 years ago when won Best in Show at Crufts. And after that, I know that there has been an increase in clumbers going through the breed rescue scheme. So I rather think that the minor spaniels, as far as I'm concerned, I prefer to keep them that way, with enough to form a proper nucleus for breeding for future generations.
What would you feel is the minimum number you need? About 300 or 400 of them to make sure?
Yes, I think that would be
that'd be
ideal.
plenty.
Which is about what you've got at the moment,
Yes.
I suppose.
Yes.
So it's a very special dog, very unusual dog, not one I've studied closely before, and it's very good of you both to introduce us to the beautifully coloured and with the most wonderful temperament, the Sussex Spaniel. Thank you, Annie, and thank you, Anne.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you remember, this is some time ago, Elizabeth Pinder Ashenden?
I do indeed. She was incredibly dedicated. She was at the Cambridge Blue Cross, and I remember her little poodle.
Well, that's fair. I thought you wouldn't remember
No.
her. Well, she's not there anymore. The news is that she set up her own Cambridge Animal Rescue and Emergency Service. She has a 24-hour helpline, so it's very busy. She's only just done all this, but I thought we could just pop in and
Catch up on the news.
Why not? Elizabeth, it's lovely seeing you. I was just telling everyone you've acquired a husband since we last saw you, a baby. Boy, girl?
Boy.
Well, you've really changed your life. You decided that you and your husband, Robert, wanted to concentrate on wildlife. Now, why did you do that?
Cambridgeshire is very rich in wildlife, and there are quite a number of animal societies in Cambridgeshire, but very few of them are prepared to deal with wildlife. And I think that's because with the variety of wildlife, you need to have specialist knowledge. It does require quite a lot of funding, and basically nobody was prepared to pick up the pieces. And it seemed to us awful that there were animals suffering out there and no one would help them.
Yes.
This poor chap fell down a hole,
Drunk again, I know.
a muddy hole.
And will he go back home again?
Yes, he will.
He's got a bit of a cold there. Just a snuffle.
He's had a few health problems, which is why actually he's stayed a little bit longer than he would normally, and we've been treating those. And as you can see, he's getting bigger and bigger.
He's a right porker,
Yes,
isn't he?
he's eating an awful lot of food.
What do you give him?
Cat food and dog food,
food,
yes.
Yeah. But of course your aim, well, I'm assuming your aim is that anything that comes in here, you want to send out as soon as you can.
That's right. We are not a sanctuary. This is ostensibly a rescue service and a hospital. So it's like in and out as fast as possible.
And back into the wild so they don't come to rely on you.
Back into the wild. And, you know, I mean, quite honestly, we wouldn't be able to continue if we did keep everybody because we're just inundated all the time. I mean, sometimes we'll have calls sort of at midnight or 1 a.m. in the morning. Maybe somebody's coming home from shift work or they're just coming home from a party or dinner and they find an animal injured by the road. And, I mean, that's why we've set the service up because usually they feel a need to help. They try and think, well, who can we ring?
Exactly.
And so now they have got somewhere.
So we've seen Mr. Hedgehog. Who else have you got in?
We've got a wide variety of animals in. We get an awful lot of birds. We've got a kestrel there that's been shot. And we've got a duck out there, for instance, a Muscovy duck, who came in as a little duckling. It was a very sad story, actually, because he came in with his brother tucked under the wing of his mother, who had just died of duck viral enteritis, and they were suffering from it. And they're much better, and as you can see, enormous duck. The brother decided to go off, but this one says, no, thank you, I think I'll stay here.
I'll stay here. I like it here.
Yes,
I like Robert and Elizabeth. What's Robert's part in this?
Robert does the rescue. I mean, there are a lot of rescues which I find very difficult to perform, so he's really the main rescue person, and he also does deal a lot with the treatment, particularly homeopathy, because that is something that he's studied. And so he's very keen on that.
Let's pick up on this homeopathy because Desmond, I know, is not a great fan, and I'm a great fan of sort of saying, well, let's try anything. But why do you think it works as alongside, conventional medicine?
Well, you can see if you just look at the back here. I mean, we've got a lot of orthodox medicine. We've got lots of drugs, we've got antibiotics, fluids, and you'll see over there we've got a lot of the remedies, the homeopathic remedies. I mean, I first started using homeopathy as a veterinary nurse a long time ago.
Like how long?
Over 10 years. And it started out because at the veterinary surgery where I was working, we had a little cat, about 6 months old, that had a terrible cerebral spinal problem. And we tried everything we could possibly think of in orthodox medicine to help the cat, and nothing worked. And it was in such a pathetic state that the owners felt that really it might have to be put to sleep. And we actually were discussing it one day, and a friend said, "Have you thought about homeopathy?" So we consulted a homeopath, and she came up with a remedy, a treatment, and literally within sort of 24 hours there was a marked change because the cat hadn't been able to hold his head up at all. He'd had to be syringe fed, he was beginning to feed and drink for himself. So within a week we knew that the cat didn't have to be put to sleep. That made me think it might be worth using again.
Yes, quite.
And when it worked the second time, I thought, well, okay, maybe it's not just such a coincidence. And the third and the fourth time, I thought,
there's something in this.
There is definitely something in this.
Can you remember, just because we have to isolate it, so it's a cat with a spinal problem, can you remember in the homeopathic medicine what you were actually using? Was it herbs or...?
Well, as you probably know, homeopathic substances sort of take the full range. Some of them are from plants and some of them are actually sort of from minerals. And the whole idea is that it's a bit like vaccination, that a substance that can make an animal or a human being ill potentially can cure it as well. And it triggers off your natural healing mechanism. And basically that's what happens.
How many homeopathic vets are there in this country?
They are increasing, actually. And so you do find that the register is growing all the time.
And where would you find them?
You can actually consult the college, the British College for Homeopathy, and they will give you a list of homeopathic veterinary surgeons.
Well, it's always worth a try. If you've got a beloved pet, you'll do anything, won't you? Absolutely anything. Where do you get the money from? I mean, you've got to live, you've got to look after the baby, etc., etc. Where does it come from?
Big problem. Basically, I mean, virtually all our own assets have gone into setting this up, and particularly for the first year. I mean, we've sort of sold everything in order to do this. We're registering as a charity, and we work solely on public donation. We're looking for sponsorship.
Thank goodness somebody's doing it, and I know everyone on Animal Country will wish you well, and hopefully we can come back and see your progress.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Isn't it lovely?
Wonderful.
It really takes me back to school holidays, you know, belting down in July to Devon.
Yeah.
And the first person in the back, you know, the kid in the back that sees New Forest pony gets a sweet just to shut you up.
For me, it has a very special memory because it was here I was allowed to come back. Very first drive on my own ever. And when we got here, it was an extraordinary night because it was the end of the war.
Which war?
Which war? Yes, but you thought it was the Crimea. It was the World War II had just ended, and it was VJ night. So we had a celebration in the forest that lasted all night. It was marvellous. Because New Forest's a crazy name for it. It should be called the Old Forest because...
It was William the Conqueror, wasn't it?
Yes, it's 900 years ago he set this up.
For his hunting.
Yeah, and in it are living people called commoners.
Yes, I'm a bit intrigued by that. We'll sort that one out because we're going to see Richard, and it's Carolyn, isn't it? His wife, Caroline.
Over here.
The strides, there will explain it all.
morning, Sarah.
Aren't we lucky?
Lovely day.
Nice bit of sunshine to welcome us.
Lucky
Thank
to
you.
be out in it.
Absolutely, it's lovely to be back in the New Forest. Now, I was just saying to Desmond, you can have the title a commoner of the New Forest. What does it actually mean, though?
Commoner is someone who has forest rights attached to their land.
And this presumably goes back an awfully long way.
Or generations. Our family's been keeping ponies for 8-10 generations that I know of.
Good heavens. Well, we've got your pedigree sorted out. Tell me something about the background of the ponies, because coming through the forest, you know, there are dark ones and there are grey ones and there are big ones and there are fat ones and funny shapes. They're a real mishmash.
That's probably because they're a mixture of all breeds. It's the definition of the forest pony is very difficult. They're crossed. Now we only allow registered New Forest stallions on the forest, but in bygone times they were a mixture of all breeds. There were Highland stallions imported to the forest, Fell, Welsh. There's some Arab in them. There's some even some thoroughbred in them. So it's no wonder that they're all shapes and sizes.
Yeah, good strong breed.
I like to think we're getting them back stronger. Of course, the introduction of Arab and things like that made them weaker, which is not a good thing for the forest, because hardiness must be the first.
And we always say New Forest ponies. Are they all ponies?
Yes, pretty well.
No horses at all?
No, a horse too big on the forest. A registered forest stallion mustn't be any bigger than 14.2 anyway.
Right.
That's the maximum, and most of them would perhaps average about 13.2, 13.3.
What happens though with the weaker ones in the winter? Because it's heaven on a day like this, but you know better than me. In February, it's pretty grim.
In the winter, if there are any ponies that are below standard, we've got 5 agisters that are looking after the forest ponies, and if they spot one that's below standard, then it's taken off the forest for the winter.
Just tell me in a sentence what an agister is.
An agister is someone who is employed by the verderers who are responsible for the forest animals.
And who are the verderers? They're responsible for the...
They're responsible for the forest animals and, dare I say it, responsible for the commoners.
This is very
It is a complicated...
And you work for the Forestry Commission as well?
I work for the Forestry Commission, and it is a complicated old world.
Your ponies, what perimeter, how large a circumference have they got? How many miles to roam?
My ponies can roam from one end of the forest to the other.
Which is how long?
What's 144 square miles?
It is quite spiritual, isn't it? I would say even mystical, but I'm sure people watching are thinking, well, what's she going off on a flight of fancy? But would you agree with me? The forest is mystical?
Well, yes, to me the forest is full of mystery. Full of mystery. That's what I enjoy about it.
You obviously enjoy this life. Why?
Well, I've been brought up to it. I really don't know anything different. As a child, that's all I ever did was spend my time in the forest looking at the ponies, studying the ponies. That's all I ever did. My mates went to football, they went here, there and everywhere. All I ever did was study the ponies.
Do you think your sons will do that?
One of my sons is definitely going that way already. In fact, I can understand what my father went through when I was a boy now, because I get a little bit fed up with it sometimes. He goes on and on and on about it.
Now, how many ponies have you got?
Now, that's a question I hope you wouldn't ask me, because
Why that? Why?
That's something that a true commoner would never divulge.
Why?
Well, it's just something that's bred in us. My father always told me when I was a boy, anybody asks you how many ponies you got, you don't know. You never know. But I'll tell you this, if one's missing, I'll know about it. I'll know, I'll just know.
It's in your water. Do you ride?
Yes, to round up the ponies, yes.
Oh, I've really enjoyed chatting to you. It's great. Will you tell me when we stop the cameras how many you've got?
No, definitely not. Your husband might work for the Inland Revenue.
Well, I haven't got a husband, but I do know the Inland Revenue.
We all know the Inland Revenue.
Exactly. We'll go and find Desmond, I think. I don't think I'm going to get that out of you, Richard.
Caroline, in addition to all Richard's official duties, you and he have this small holding. What sort of livestock do you keep here in the middle of the New Forest?
Well, we have our dairy cow, Rosie, who supplies us with our daily milk because we don't have any deliveries here. And we have our pigs, which we turn out on the open forest for the pannage season.
Oh, no, the pigs are important here, aren't they? Because That's one of the rights of commoners, is the right of
mast.
mast. Now, you better explain that. Most people won't know what that is.
Well, it's the time of the year from September, the end of September onwards, when we are able to turn our pigs out on the open forest to eat the green acorns and the beech mast. Our green acorns being poisonous to our stock, which is left running on the forest. So we turn them out to tidy up the green acorns.
So that's a very important role they play, because if they don't, then some of the horses
Oh
might
yes,
suffer.
very much. Yes, very much so.
It's interesting, isn't it? The pigs can eat green acorns and horses can't.
Well, it is. It is. But of course, we work it that we have a litter of pigs to go out in the pannage season, and then they have really a free feed for about 6 weeks. So it's good.
How do you get them back?
Well, they know when the food starts to go be a bit scarce. They usually know that it's time to come home.
Now, what else have we got? That's you got poultry, your dog here, the horses, cattle. Have we missed anything out? What about deer?
Oh yes, well there is the wild deer, which are really owned by the Crown. They're not owned by anybody, which run on the forest as a whole. Really.
But you don't have any of your own?
No, we haven't got any pet deer. Unfortunately, there's a lot of poaching goes on here, so I think it's well that I don't get attached to one in particular.
But the wild deer, how many are there?
Oh, it would run into thousands, I'm sure,
Thousands?
here. All over the whole forest.
Now, of course, that goes right back to the original function of the forest as a hunting ground for the royal family.
That's right, that's right. It was, the New Forest actually was created by William the Conqueror for a hunting forest, basically.
We've talked about the forest as though it's all one sort of habitat, but in fact it's more complicated, because there are, apart from the wooded areas, there are also things called valley bogs, is it?
That's right. Those are the wetland areas here in the forest, which is the habitat for a host of interesting plants and of course reptiles and amphibians as well. So our animals have access to graze over them, so they keep a lot of the grass short, so it makes the ideal surrounds for a lot of these rare species.
Yeah. So for you, what does it mean to walk in the forest?
Well, when I go and get the cow first thing in the morning, the solitude and the peace to walk down through these lovely Douglas fir around here, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful place to live.
And there we are, Caroline takes the cow for its walk, and for us, rather sadly, it's the end of another interesting day in the beautiful and enduring New Forest. And it's the end of the programme. Don't forget, we're always on the watch for a potential winner for the Anglia Meridian Animal Country Award. But for now, from both of us, goodbye.